Hi, I'm going to talk about Led Zeppelin's catalog from their first album up to Coda. And I'm not going to do a best to worst or a worst to best, but I will rate them as I talk about each album. The first album, the more I've heard it throughout the years, the sound seems fresher and it's recorded really well. So even though I don't consider all of the songs to be equal and there are some songs I like better than others, I do like all of them. So that one gets an 8. The second album, there are some songs that I like a bit more than on the first album, but there's one song I do not like at all. And that one song I dislike so much that otherwise the album would have been a tie at 8, but I'm going to give it a 7.9 because even though some of the songs on Led Zeppelin 2 I like better than the first album, that one song that I don't like brings it down a point. Now, Led Zeppelin 3, I'll give it a 6. There are a number of songs I don't like. There's some I do. But not all of the songs that I don't like are on the acoustic side. There are a couple that are on the rocking side that I don't like. So, there you go. And then, Led Zeppelin 4. I like that quite a bit, except for a couple of songs which I think should not have been on the album. I'll give that an 8. Let's say I'll give it a 7.95. So it's maybe a little tiny bit better, in my opinion, than the second album because of some of the songs are really good. But there's a couple of songs that I don't love. But I still recognize that they're okay, even though they're not my style. But at least they're better than that one really annoying song on Led Zeppelin 2 that I don't like. So the fourth album gets a little tiny bit better of a ranking for that reason. And then Houses of the Holy. There's one song I don't like at all. I do not like it. But the rest of the album is so good that I'm going to give it an 8.1. So there you go. Houses of the Holy is getting a little tiny bit more of the thumbs up from me so far. Alright, now for Physical Graffiti, I'll give that a 9. It would have gotten a 10, except there are a couple of tunes here and there that I don't really like. But the songs that are good are so good, and it's such an explosively iconic and good album that there's no way I can give it less than a 9. So far, Physical Graffiti is up ahead in that way. And Presence, I give that about a 9.5, even though there's one song that now I kind of like, but back in the day I didn't. But the songs on Presence are some of my very favorite Led Zeppelin songs ever. So I cannot give it less than a 9.5. And then In Through the Outdoor, I forgot about The Song Remains the Same, so I'll talk about that after I talk about Presence. No, I mean after I talk about In Through the Outdoor. That one gets a 5. And I'm being generous. There's no songs on it that I like completely. But since it's still Led Zeppelin, and they're trying. I'll be generous and give it a 5. It really doesn't deserve it, but none of the songs are great. There's only a couple of songs on there that are passable, meaning I don't like them and I will not put them on a playlist ever. But if I was at a party and someone else had those two songs on a playlist and the rest of the songs were great, I wouldn't complain. But a 5 at best. Now, song remains the same. I would say I have to give it an 8 because even though the best songs are like a 10, there are a couple of songs on there that I don't like the original studio version of, and I don't like how they did it live. So as far as I'm concerned, even though it has some of the best songs of their whole catalog on that album, it also has stuff that's so draggy that I can't enjoy it. So as far as I'm concerned, it gets an 8. And then Coda. That gets an 8 only because we wanted other songs from Led Zeppelin. Doesn't mean that they're great songs, but at least it filled our bellies. Okay, I don't want to give an 8 to Song Remains the Same if I'm giving an 8 to the first Led Zeppelin album. Let's say I give Song Remains the Same a 7.6. And then Coda, I'll give maybe a 7.55. So I don't know exactly how the ranking is. If you want to tabulate what you think my ranking is and find out what my favorite is and what isn't, go for it. But as far as I'm concerned, that's my rankings. Or not. It's my ratings. Okay, take care and bye.